So we're up to issue number 6 of The Penguin, and I have the variant cover. Very cool. There's the Penguin kind of peering out of the darkness. Just for anyone to know, I don't avoid spoilers, so be warned. The previous issues have set up a situation where I believe the Penguin is being forced to work for, I guess, the FBI or some government agency, and they want him to return to Gotham and recreate his gang or create a new gang. And so he was doing that uh, for 4 of the last 5 issues, and now Tom King is changing course a bit, and I think that's good because I was getting a little bit tired of it. I like the series, but I was hoping for something different. This is the second issue where I get the variant cover over top the regular cover, so I guess that must be something they're doing now. It wasn't, I take it was not an error in the last issue, but I guess we get both, so that's kind of cool. I like that. All right, so um, we go back in time now to when the Penguin was not the Penguin. He was just Oswald Cobblepot working at the Iceberg Lounge, which is a lounge owned by the Falcones, which are a kind of a mob type group, the Falcone family. And so he's working there as a bartender slash janitor, and I guess that's what the head of the Falcone family, um, Carmine Falcone. And so Cobblepot's giving him a drink, and the guy's very nasty towards Oswald, calling him fat, saying he's sweating, and eventually just throws a glass in his face because he just doesn't like the looks of him. And so he's there in the bathroom picking out pieces of glass from his face, saying never again. And you can see the state of his job as someone has made a mess of one of the toilets. So later on, Oswald goes up to his roof, and there is an old woman there. And this is something that Tom King does a lot, which is have internal monologues. And in this case, sometimes you have to think about who is the one speaking, and so or thinking. And so in this case, it's the old woman, and she's apparently a woman who helped raise him when he was a child, and so he feels somewhat indebted to her. And I take it he has some. Is it him or her has some pigeons? I'm not sure, but she appears to be having some declining mental health, and she mentions that she saw the Batman, and so this would be I guess, very early on in the Batman's career, and so she starts telling Oswald he's not part man, part bat. He's just a human in a costume swinging from ropes. So we go back to uh, uh, Oswald as bartender again, and okay, again somebody's being rude to him, and I don't think this is Falcone this time. Just a guy who's going to knock off a bank, and then the Batman comes in and punches him out. So and foils the bank job. All right. So finally, let's see. Finally, the Batman shows up on the roof, and he wants Oswald's help because he knows that Oswald is working at the Iceberg Lounge, and he wants information because he knows that the Iceberg Lounge is where all the criminals hang out. And so uh, Oswald tells him that the old woman is his mother and he cares about her, and Batman says, no, you're a liar. And he says, okay, no, that she's not actually my mother. Now this is a little bit different from my understanding. I mean, I guess maybe I'm going from the Tim Burton movie, but I had thought that he was born of wealthy family. But I don't know. I don't know if Tom King is rewriting his origin, his past, or if this is kind of accepted, and he's just kind of retelling it. But it's a little bit of a Batman Year One type thing, and they decide to work together because what Oswald tells him is that because of the abuse he has suffered, he wants revenge on them. So he's going to give Batman information. So he's in a unique position to offer him information. And then Batman's basically taking out the Falcone gang with the help of Oswald Cobblepot. So I like that. I like that they're working together, although you get the impression that as intelligent as Batman is, that he's being manipulated by Oswald. And I think this is does a great job of establishing Oswald as being very clever. And I think that one of the things about him that would maybe disarm people or is just his awkward appearance. He doesn't look threatening, so people would not recognize that he's very crafty. And so Batman decides he's going to end the Falcones once and for all, and then Oswald Cobblepot gets very upset because he feels that he and Batman have done a lot of good. At least that's what he's saying. That's what he's expressing to Batman. And he's worried that if he takes down Falcone, that not only will he lose kind of his position as as helping Batman, but also the fact that he will be unemployed. And so he's very concerned. And Batman is kind of not really, doesn't seem to really care. And says, you're a bartender. So I guess he could get a job somewhere else. He said, no. I'm your bartender. So he's saying he will work for. So anyway, this is a scene I love. And Tom King does a great job. Again, I'm not avoiding spoilers. And so I believe Falcone's getting really, really upset because his gang is getting dismantled. And so Falcone says to him, do I look like a sucker to you? And he's been abusing Oswald for quite a while. And he says, I don't know what you mean, sir. And he throws another glass in his face, at least the liquid. Do I look like a something sucker, you fat whatever? And then he says, well, boss, it's not a fair question, I guess, sir. See, everyone looks like a sucker to me. What is that supposed to mean? And there's Batman standing behind him. And so Batman also, what he has told Oswald is that he's giving him the Iceberg Lounge, and he wants Oswald to continue to encourage criminals to come in and continue to get information. So this is how he initially gets the Iceberg Lounge. And so again, this is a great ending where he's back up on the roof with the woman, and again she's clearly having mental problems, perhaps Alzheimer's or something. And he tells her, this is great. He says, you want to give me dirty... She always talks about dirty kisses, so she's... No, Ma, I want to give you a hug. Say thank you. What? Thank you for what? I couldn't do this without you. That's what's for. Come here. Come on, come here. So we also get her inner monologue where she's thinking about... And she says, I've known him since he was a kid. He wanted to fly. He'd run around flapping his arms, but it didn't get him anywhere. Then he'd throw a big tantrum and start throwing things. She says, I didn't do nothing. And he says, see, I had to think. I had a reason. A good one. Something noble. That's you. That was important. Made me important to him. And she says, I'm important? And he says, no, Ma. You gotta listen. That's not what I said. I said you were important. And she's in her inner monologue, she says, I could even tell then. And he shoves her off the building, presumably killing her. He wasn't any good at all. So it just shows how ruthless he is. And I mentioned in a previous video that this series was kind of on probation because I wasn't sure I was going to continue with it. This has definitely bought it some more time. This was, I would say, the best issue in the series and really, really establishes who the Joker is. I'm sorry, who the Penguin is. So I highly recommend this issue. I highly recommend the series. If you don't want to get individual issues, I'm sure that there's gonna be a compilation at one point. But hopefully it's going to continue. I can't really look at sales numbers anymore, but I liked this issue a lot, and I think the artwork is quite good too. So that's Penguin number 6 by Tom King.